Forget trying to keep up with AI. It's moving too fast. It's time to think differently about it. Welcome to the AI Readiness Project, hosted by 𝗪𝗵𝘆 and 𝗪𝗵𝘆. They're here to help you build the mindset to thrive in an AI-driven world and prepare for what's next.
I'm telling you.
You look fantastic today. I don't know what kind of lighting you did, if you've been tanning on a golf course or what's going on, but you look swell. I feel like I am corpsely.
No, you know what? I did something that I would highly recommend. I took a nap. I took a nap.
This is what it looks like when you don't. Okay.
Yes. You're no nap. I'm nap.
I'm the before picture in this scene. I like it. That's solid.
Well, our guest Marisol was commenting on how she was feeling kind of something, and she's talked to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said, "Go to sleep." And she was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But she wasn't listening to herself tell herself to go to sleep, but ChatGPT tells her to go to sleep, and she's like, "I'll go to sleep."
Yeah.
So
she'll ChatGPT's got it going on.
Yep.
Oh,
how you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. So why don't we jump in? Let's answer this question, shall we?
Yeah. You start.
Oh, you want me to start? Okay.
Yeah, you start.
How ready am I for AI? I feel pretty ready this week. You know what's weird about AI for me is, like, the deeper I get into this, it's just this oscillation between everything's great, everything's going to be fine, and holy crap, I have no idea what's going on. And I go back and forth between those, and I feel like this week I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Like the tools are getting better. It's gonna be okay. I feel like I'm starting to get a grasp on what are the skills that are going to be required moving forward for people to be really successful. And I think that's a huge, huge question that companies and individuals are going to have to deal with. So I'm feeling pretty good about it this week.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
How about yourself?
Well, I feel like it's the conservation of feeling good about AI, because you're feeling good and I have been not feeling great.
Okay, good. So great in not great in what way?
You know, it was interesting because Vicky Baptiste from the AI Salon, who's in the chat right now. Hi, Vicky. She posted this great question in the AI Salon's mastermind group, which was, how often, or what is it like when you feel both fear and enthusiasm about AI, and what triggers that? And I was like, especially lately, I'm carrying both at the same time. And my motivation for doing AI, responsibly and scaling that and encouraging other people to use it is specifically because there are so many downsides to it. It's like, if we're going to do this thing that could potentially have, environmental, well, we know there's environmental problems, there's human rights, there's, energy, there's geopolitics, etc. Then we might as well use it to its highest and best use on an individual and organizational level. Like, we have a responsibility to do the best, whatever we do with AI, because we're using it. We're in it. We're putting our data into the next model training. Like, we're teaching people what to use, how to ask themselves what they should use it for. Just feels like it's so important to balance both sides of it. And it's awkward because our job is so often to inspire people to use it. And I know that I can come across as Pollyanna about it sometimes, and that it's even like my credibility is a little bit shaky because I don't talk about the bad things about it, but I know them and I feel them. And so that's it. There's bad stuff and there's good stuff.
I'll let you off the hook a little bit.
Okay.
I think that there are plenty of people talking about the bad stuff about AI.
Fair.
I actually think there are precious few relative talking about the optimistic side of it, what it does. I'll tell you, a lot of what you talked about brought something up for me. And maybe the reason I'm feeling good, I'm working on this new book project, Feed Your Prompt. And the whole idea is if you feed your prompt that AI serves as an amplifier of your ideas.
Yes.
And I think to the extent that we separate ourselves from AI and treat it like this robot off to the side. What that framing does is it says that AI is happening to us.
Right.
Which is terrifying, right? Because if the AI is bad and the AI is happening at us and it happens bad, that's going to be bad. But if you reframe it in this way that it's like, I'm the chef and AI is like, yes, chef. Like AI is my sous chef. I'm the one that gets to decide what the dish is going to be, what the ingredients are, what spices we're going to put on it. And AI is there helping me, cutting things really swiftly and sauteing just right and doing all the things. And if it does something wrong, I'm like, no, that's not good. Put that back. And it's this amplifier of humanity. And so for me, it's this thing of, if what we can do is rather than say to people, you should try AI, if we can say, listen, you've got all these ideas. And if you use AI, you can amplify those ideas. That for me is why I'm in an optimistic place, because it is such an empowering thing when you reframe it as a collaborator rather than a thing that you have to deal with.
100%. I am so glad that that's how I started using AI. I never tried to use it as like an answer machine. I was desperate and it became my world immediately because I needed to.
Yeah.
The other thing about being ready for AI this week that I'm excited about for me personally, my life, what I can bring to my conversations with people, regardless of where they are in their journey, is because I made that game. So for those of you who haven't heard the big news, and you might want to sit down.
This is huge. This is huge.
This is huge. So
watch out, Electronic Arts.
Watch. If I knew the name of another gaming company, I would say it right. GameStop. I don't know.
No, but it's good enough. It was cute. It's actually perfect considering what you're about to say.
So I envisioned. So the story that I told is that I'm not a gamer. I don't know a lot about video games. I don't know how they're set up. My dad took the ColecoVision away back in when we were fighting about it, and I never saw it again. Just like the guinea pig, right? Never saw the guinea pig again when it was time for the guinea pig to go away. So I never learned anything about video games other than Mousetrap. That was the only one I'd really played. And so, which was kind of like, you remember, like Frogger and stuff. So I just asked Manus, like, can I make a video game with people, with a little me high-fiving other people or these little animals? And it was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And then I talked to it some more. And then I thought, I think this is what vibe coding is. Because I never went and found out when everyone was talking about it.
You didn't ask ChatGPT what vibe coding was?
I never did. I never, we're curious minds, but sometimes I put a wall around things that I don't think I have time to learn about.
Yeah.
So at any rate, I start making this game. And I mean, you would think I was the hottest shit on the planet. I am I am telling everyone who will listen to me that I, of all people, made a video game. So now I know what vibe coding is. Now I know what building is. Now I know the iteration process. This game is going places.
Yeah. And it's the cutest. This was an absolute troll and insult of you, but it was also the best compliment. I didn't mean for it to sound this mean. But when I played the game for the first time, you were on the call with me, and I said, "Oh, this is so dumb, it's brilliant." And I really did mean it as a compliment.
I know.
It is just joy, right? Like it is just joy. There's effectively no game mechanics other than click on stuff and get joy, right?
And get joy.
And it is the kind of game that a professional gamer would never design. a professional coder would never think to build.
Yeah.
And it's a full self-expression of you and what you wanted in that moment. And that's the beauty of it.
Yes.
And there's, there's a thing going on right now that I'm seeing, and I'm seeing this consistently. Artists will say that AI art is just garbage art, and coders will say that vibe coding is just garbage coding. And every single thing that gets these kind of automated, level ups, the incumbents in that industry disparage it. But what's going to happen is you're going to get people creating games and creating applications that never would have gotten created in the first place. And someone in doing that is going to do something absolutely brilliant that changes things in a positive way. And it's not that traditional coding is worse or better, or vibe coding is worse or better. It's a different thing. And it's going to have a different group of people who are very, very successful at it. So I just thought your game was absolute just joyous. And it's a perfect example of you're putting something in the world that literally wouldn't have existed without AI.
Exactly. And the other piece about like putting yourself, like feed your prompt. So one of the things that I put into it, because I was thinking about being Gen X and our parents, and how my dad took the ColecoVision away, and how our parents, a lot of our parents didn't like effuse these little pieces of gratitude, like, you're joyous, you are loved, you have, your shoulders are the right amount of broad, you don't mind getting wet in the rain. Like how, because when we very first started making GPTs, there was a friend in the salon who made one specific affirmations for Gen X adults whose parents never told them that they were okay.
Exactly.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to infuse this game in some dopamine. Anyway, but what it did, and what I wish for other people, and what I want to take people along this journey with me, is the sense of empowerment is like, it's like when I know this is going to sound hyperbolic, but I'm a long distance solo backpacker. And there are moments where you're just like, I have no idea how I just did what I did, but the sense of confidence that I have is newfound. And my goal is always, you call it the backcountry, is to bring that confidence into the front country. And I feel like this about making the game is, I made the game. That was like me just dinking around, right? This was one instance of vibe coding. What more can I do? And now I feel right.
Huge.
Nobody can tell me that I don't know how to make things
with
AI.
Let me tell you, I love that so much. First of all, I didn't know that about you, the solo backpacking thing. That's our account director at Storyvine. She does that as well. So just crazy, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
If there's anyone watching the show right now that has not sort of taken the step into AI, one of the things about AI is that if you're on the outside of it, it seems very intimidating. And that intimidation comes from a long history of AI up until ChatGPT really did require you to have a mathematics degree or to be a real good engineer, to really understand the mechanics of how AI works. Post ChatGPT, that's not the case anymore. What you need to have is you need to have ideas, and you need to have, a point of view, and you need to have creativity and curiosity and adventure. Those are the basic requirements right now. And so just like in that confidence in vibe coding, someone else who's just getting started can gain a similar kind of confidence just going to ChatGPT and playing. Just try.
Exactly.
It will blow you away, probably within the first 5 minutes, definitely within the first 15, right?
Absolutely. I think I'm going to make a long list of all the things you don't need to know in order to be good at AI. And
it's a great idea.
Yeah. And in fact, you will be, most people, at least the people who fit into the revenge of the liberal arts majors, right? Like most people will be impeded by trying to find out what an MCP is, or whatever MCT, whatever TF it is, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And if I had known that I was vibe coding, I probably would have stopped, because I'd be like, this is something that I don't know how to do.
Yeah. Well, vibe coding, what it really means is, like, 𝗪𝗓 𝗪𝗚 is the one that defined it, and he can code. And he said vibe coding is just telling the computer what you want and not looking at the code.
Makes sense.
As a coder, he's saying vibe coding is just, I just vibe with it. And that's what you're doing. You were just asking questions. Hey, can I do this? And because it wants to be a helpful assistant, it's like, sure, you can do that. You want me to spin that up for you? Right?
Yeah.
That's
very
it.
Good.
That's it. So if you've never vibe coded, go do that too.
Yes.
So let me kick us into what I think is something worth paying attention to this week. And I'd love to hear your take on this.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that's been happening as I've been working on this book is that I've come to the massive, in retrospect, obvious realization that tools don't matter as much as your intention matters. That intention is the most important thing, and your point of view and how you want to use the tools and what you do. And I learned this back in the World Wide Web days, and I'm relearning it again now. AI tools are very seductive, and they make you want to pay attention to them, right? And so I spent the first year and a half of AI Learning Lab and all that talking about tools. And I've been making this transition out of that because I think in the end, the tools don't really matter. That said, here's what I think you should pay attention to for the next week. I am completely enamored with and in love with Midjourney's new video tool.
Yeah.
And just Midjourney in general. And if you haven't played with it yet, it is very worth at least a $10 subscription, in my opinion. You won't get very many videos, but you'll at least get to experience it. I actually upped my subscription to the $60 subscription on Midjourney because it's got unlimited like slow renders. So it's basically unlimited video, just because it's so good. But go play with it. There's a couple of reasons why. One is, what they haven't done, what other tools have done is they've split image generation and video generation as these very distinct tools. You've got the image generator over here, and then you go over to the video generator and you do the stuff over there. And it's just this very fragmented experience. Midjourney has basically said, we're an image generation tool. And do you want that image to move? And so you generate all these images and you find something you like the look and feel of. And then in the lower right-hand corner, you just hit a button that says, low motion or high motion, and then either automatic or you can add a prompt, right? Super simple, but the results are magical. It seems to understand the intent of images, the physics of images in just a remarkable way. So while I do not recommend leading with a tool, I think understanding the kind of magic that Midjourney has captured with that video tool, I think that's something worth paying attention to this week, because my enthusiasm for it isn't waning. It's amplifying as time is going on. And that's a very rare thing.
I'm in love with it too, because the results are from my, experience, so consistently good. You know?
With no input. Like, it's literally like click a button and it's like, you're like, oh, I did
so
that.
Good. And then just now talking to you before the show started, I learned what the button that says that the word extend actually means. You can extend it. Good to know. Because what I was doing was I was downloading all these segments and then uploading them to my phone and then putting them into InShot and then clipping them together.
Okay. Yes. Which you can do.
You can do it that way.
You can do it that way.
I like to do things the hard way, but yes, like the very first thing I did was I took some advice that I learned from Kim Offord, that you want to, sometimes it's helpful to use an image where there's movement in it, in the direction that you think you want it to move in. So I took two images that Jamie Velasquez, who's in the chat right now, she made, one of women walking and the other one a different scene with women walking, and it morphed the scene so beautifully, and I got an A+ home run dopamine hit first try.
Yeah.
First try.
And just so if people don't understand, so when you make a video in Midjourney, there's two. When you see the video, there's two buttons that hover on top of it. One says extend auto and one says extend manual. So the original video length that it produces is 5 seconds. And then if you extend it, it'll add 4 seconds. And you can do 4 of those. So you can have 5 segments total for a 21-second video. Here's the thing I just learned today, Anne.
What's that?
Every time you extend, you can give it a completely different prompt. So this guy did this video of like a cartoon character walking down a street, and then he was walking by a pond, and then he was walking in a city, and then he was walking somewhere else. Those are all just extensions of that first clip of him walking down the street. And then they said, same guy walking down, walking by a pond or whatever it is, right? So those extensions can actually be different shots. And I assume it understands the continuity and it understands the style. And like, I haven't played a ton with it, but again, it's just, there is something magical about it. And it's kind of low learning curve. If you can get an image in Midjourney, you can push a button and make it into a video. And then as you start to dig into it, it is quite remarkable.
So how does it compare to VO3
Okay.
in your mind? Because I haven't played with VO3.
Great question. So when VO3 came out, so here's the thing about VO3. VO3 is Google's video model. VO3 does like audio sound effects and acting. Like
that's right.
It does character generation, voices, script writing, and acting. Like it generates fully baked, characters at a trade show talking about cars or whatever. And they're good. And so when that came out, what I knew was that I would never be excited about another video model that didn't do that didn't have the audio effects, that didn't have the thing. And then like a week later, Midjourney Video comes out. And darned if I'm not more excited about that than I am about VO3. There is something about the nature of how it understands and interprets the image that is just it. Rick McCauley called it. It's like visual poetry. It is visual poetry, and it is magical, and so it doesn't have all that stuff, but it will over time. One of the reasons it's so good is that how they described it is. Midjourney was not started as an image generation company. It was started as a 3D world building company. And then exactly. And then what they talked about is you have to start with the images, then you go to video, then you go to 3D worlds and objects, and then you go to real time. So the video is just a snapshot in a continuum toward basically the holodeck, where we're going to invent worlds and step into them.
Okay, so
and I think that's why it's so good at the physics part. Like why it understands the images so subtly is that I think it's being trained in a much larger continuum.
Okay. So then there's one more comparison, and Bloom has kind of answered this in the chat. So I also played with Kling and compared Kling to Midjourney, which by the way, I had never used Kling because I kept getting it mixed up with a bunch of Kriya and
I know,
every time I sat down, I knew it was 4 letters.
I know.
And I was just like, anyway, so Kling, what's your experience Kling versus Midjourney versus, well, I got the Midjourney versus VO3 thing, but Kling versus.
I am behind. I have not used Kling 2.1. I haven't used Halu's Minimax just came out. It's supposed to be really remarkable. Like I think they're all getting so good that that you can really use any of them. We've talked about this before. I think we have entered, a stage of AI where you won't be able to keep up with all the models, and it actually doesn't make sense to. What'll happen is you're going to imprint on a particular tool or two, and then those are going to be your tools, right? And I think that's how it's going to be. So I'm really behind on a bunch of stuff. So I don't know. I've heard Kling 2.1 is incredible. I've heard Minimax is incredible. I think all the stuff within Kriya, you can use lots of different models, so you can go play with a bunch of different ones. But frankly, I'm just, the one that lights your boat is the one you should be playing with.
Yeah, exactly.
Light your boat, light your candle.
I knew what you meant.
Float your boat. I guess I should have taken a nap. Float your candle.
See, it's poetry. So I want to say another thing about the it's not about the tools thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because we've talked about how bringing ourselves into this work is what matters, right? That's
Yeah.
a more existential
It's more
approach to
sustainable,
working.
certainly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
working with AI. The
Yeah.
other thing I have been really noticing is that, and this is more right brain or left. It's more the part of your brain that is not creative, but that's important so that you can be creative. Tyler Fisk, who's coming up on our show soon, he talks about going slow to go smooth. And for me, the go slow part that I've had to kind of back up on is organizing my data. So let's say like Rick McCauley is talking about doing some projects with his family here. He had to organize some data in order to make that possible. If you haven't yet started using AI and you're just like, I don't know, dot, dot, dot. One thing to start doing right now is just like name your files properly, put them in folders, put them in folders so that you can attach those folders to, ChatGPT, et cetera, rather than your whole entire Google Drive. Like, do yourself the favor of don't get into AI and then have to go back and fix everything. Just hook yourself up by naming your files correctly and putting them in folders.
I appreciate you saying that. I haven't done that for 2.5 years. And it makes me.
You're fine. Oh.
No, I'm not. Like, I need to do that. But I think I'm so far gone at this point. I'm like, well, I haven't done it to this point. So let me just keep going like I have been. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. If anyone wants to talk to someone who hasn't done that for 2 years, I'm your man.
You're the man. And then if anyone wants to do this, there is a post by Vicky Baptiste on LinkedIn, probably maybe going back 2 months ago, where she teaches us step by step how to do this.
Yeah.
So it's Vicky
Yeah.
Baptiste, LinkedIn, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And if you follow her steps, you will be in really good shape. But even if you just do a little bit of organization, you will be golden.
Yep. The other thing, this I have been doing recently, project folders in ChatGPT, is they're not just folders. It's you can group all chats for a single project in the same chat, and then when you chat in that folder, basically, it's doing it in the context of all of your conversations. So you can just say, hey, based on what we've talked about here, let me do this new thing. So it's really good there. Good. So let's we're just about to the bottom of the hour. Let's jump in. Why don't you tell the good people quickly about She Leads AI, and I'll do the same about the salon, and then we will bring up Marisol.
Yay. All right. So She Leads AI is an ecosystem that includes our She Leads AI Academy, which is our external facing AI education for women, our consulting agency, which is focused on the people, process, and culture behind the AI revolution. We work with nonprofits, small, medium-sized businesses. Eventually, we'll be working with all kinds of companies as we bring more consultants on. We have our She Leads AI Society, which is our membership group. And then we do things in the public affairs and policy space as well. And what's so cool about She Leads AI to me is I always heard that phrase about your network is your net worth. And I always thought that was like, kind of cheesy and I don't know, for other
It's a
people.
little patriarchy-y.
It's a little patriarchy-y, right? It sounds transactional.
It does.
But here's the thing, like anytime I need to do something and it's something that's not my zone of expertise, I've got 140 women who are ready and willing and able to take the call and help me figure out who's the right person if they're not the person. So when I get a client who's like wanting to do cybersecurity stuff, I'm like, that's not my zone of genius. I know 10 women for whom it is. And that enables me to go anywhere and do anything. I can take any discovery call. And I'm not saying this is just about, money and your income and blah, 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 but it's also not about money, right? And I'm not afraid to say that our group, we help each other launch, we help each other build, we help each other find new ways to serve. So that's a little bit about She Leads AI.
Beautiful. So similarly, AI Salon, another community with a focus on just being a bunch of AI optimists, quite frankly, and generous. And our mantra, our what we call the AI readiness cycle. There's a lot of AI readiness in my life. The AI readiness cycle is play first. I'm sorry, what's going on with my hair, but it's all right.
It's flouncy. It looks good though. It's got body.
It's it's nearly natural. Um, you know, the cycle is play first, mindfully create, and generously lead. That idea of play, just play, find some joy in this stuff. Again, for you personally, what's it about? And then mindfully create is start to build stuff, and generously lead is learn out loud, share what you're learning, connect with other people, because the thing that you think is obvious to you is going to be revelatory for someone else. And so that's what the AI Salon is all about. And we've just added the AI Salon Mastermind, which is a subscription area, a more focused area of the salon, where people who are ready to step up their game and deepen their relationships and deepen their learning and just do things in a more focused way. That's there now. We're super excited about it. We just launched it in June, the beginning of the month. So it's picking up steam and taking off and really exciting. So
I
with
want
that, yeah,
to say something about the mastermind really quickly.
please do.
For anyone who is like has weird vibes about going into a space where they might not know anybody and they might be wondering, will I be on the out group? What are these people like? How much information do they have that I don't have? The mastermind is a perfect place if you want to be vulnerable and you want to be able to say in a relatively small, super safe space,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Like, we love those questions and we ask them of each other all the time. Everybody is lovely and kind and generous. It's a subset. It's like a distilled version of the AI Salon. It's extremely generous, and people should join it this calendar year because you get this year's price for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. And
Which is a
you're a
steal.
founding mastermind member. You get a badge, which is always cool.
You get a badge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post mine soon. I can't
Oh,
wait.
good. Yeah, we're gonna have badges you can post on LinkedIn and things like that. Yeah, that's great. So that's it. It's a more safe environment. What I'm noticing is that people are sharing much more specific how-tos because they weren't willing to do that to a broader group. They didn't know who was out there. This group, you kind of know everyone, so it really is powerful. All right, with that, I'm so excited for our guest today. We're going to bring up Marisol. Why don't you tell the good people about Marisol, and then we'll bring her up.
Marisol is everything. She is, and by the way, just for those of you who haven't yet met her, she has a whole fan club in the chat right now. Super excited to hear from her and gas her up because she is like a vortex of so many good things. She has helped so many of us crack into what's scary and vulnerable and also beautiful about herself about ourselves, not only through her own work, her own artwork, but also in how she coaches women to create AI artwork, particularly related to their brands. So she's an inspiration to many of us, and to anyone who hasn't met her yet, good news, you're going to meet her now and you will never forget her, and you'll follow her and you'll be inspired by her every time you cross paths with her. So I haven't given a lot of background. I'll let you do that, Marisol, but I just, we love. We love.
Welcome, Marisol. It's so good to have you here. We're really excited to have you here.
They are making me blush.
We're trying to get your cheeks to match your hair.
Oh my! They're almost there. So happy to see everybody. I'm gonna cry, guys.
I know. I realized, I was like, oh, she's gonna cry. And I'm gonna cry.
Adam knows me so well. I'm such a crybaby.
Me too.
I am too, honestly.
I'm an emotional lady. Oh, Kyle is very, very sensitive. I know that. I know that for a fact.
I'm sappy.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I love talking to you guys. I love listening to the podcast. It's just so much fun. You guys are so fun together. I'm so glad you did this. My name is Marisol Rios. I am the AI witch on YouTube and other channels. I'm a branding expert. I've been doing branding for like 16 years, if not more. I started as a graphic designer. I taught myself how to do web design and web developing. And then I got a master's in digital marketing. And then I got into AI because I just see where I can get stuck. It's very competitive to be in this field, the creative field, the marketing field, the advertising field is very, very competitive. So I always tried to stay with it. That's why I did my master's, because I was like, okay, I can't get stuck. I can't just be a creative and just do pretty things. I need to be more strategic and learn how to do social media and all that stuff. So when I turned into AI, I was a skeptic first. I was so reluctant at the beginning because I was a creative and we all have that bias that it's like it's bad and it's cheating and it's stealing and all that stuff. So I gave it a go. I started with Midjourney and I was like, I don't get it. I can't do anything. Everything looks like crap. And and then I stopped and then I discovered the Secret Eye Society and I learned there and oh, magic just started happening.
Mm,
I understood that it's not black and white with the ethics of AI. There's a lot of gray areas,
a lot of gray areas.
and that, oh my god, it just reignited my career because I was so bored.
Interesting.
I was so bored. I was like just going with the motions, just like I guess I'll get another corporate job. I was not enjoying it anymore. And then AI came along, and now I am lit up every freaking day, and even in the bad days. The bad days where I'm all like gloomy and it's like I don't know. Everything moves so fast. Then Midjourney comes out with video.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Have you been
Oh
playing
my
with
god! The second he came out, I did a YouTube video.
Isn't it amazing?
I was so excited. And you know what happened? So I coach inside a community and it got released like 30 minutes before I had my call.
Oh,
So I was like, let's be clumsy together. Let's figure
yeah,
it out together. And it was
yeah.
so, I was just like, I even forgot for a second they were there because I was like, oh, I'm going
Yeah.
to do all this stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. Right now.
Yeah, I got like I on my live, I just ignore them. I just ignore the audience. They're just,
And you're like, "Well, you might
it's about me. It's all about me.
stick around if you want."
Exactly.
I like what you said about let's be clumsy together.
That's great.
That's it. It's just being clumsy. That's not something that, like, every human is clumsy at times. Being clumsy is actually kind of endearing.
Mhm.
Let's just be clumsy together, right? I
And
love that.
being on camera and teaching live has really made me feel like I still sweat, but I tell them, like you guys, I'm sweating right now. Like you guys have made me nervous. So and everybody's super kind. So I'm like, thank you for being kind. I'm trying to figure it out because it's hard to keep up with everything, like
Yeah.
I need to be at the edge of it because I have students and they're experimenting. So I really don't have time to be like, I'll try it later. Although there's certain tools that I do leave for later, but I need to be at the edge of it. So I really need to, sometimes I need to experiment with them and go through the same pains. I even tell them like, today we're going to suffer together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have no idea what we're doing.
I'm increasingly asked to comment on things I know nothing about because I just haven't gotten to it in the, it used to be the circle of tools was like 6 tools. And then it turned into like 12, and then it was like 24. Like it's this doubling thing that's happening. And now, like just in video tools alone, I think we're probably up to 15 or 20 like major, high quality, worthwhile learning tools. And it's like at this point, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
I'll get to it when I get to it,
I try to stop sweating it too much. And see, like I'm also in an ecosystem in LinkedIn where there's so many amazing creators that's all they do all day. Like,
Yeah.
And some of them are like either partners or something. So they get the insights, like this is going to be released get to try it before anybody else.
Yep.
So by the time it's released, they already have content, and I'm all like, like I don't have time. But it's like, okay, well, I do this for a living, but they are doing this for a living.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's different, and the level I've seen. I'm in a group in Facebook, and it's just very talented, extremely advanced artists doing video. And now I'm just like there. I'm just there listening and learning because I'm like, well,
I
I
know.
haven't done much this week.
But that's how you learn. That
Yeah.
is how you learn, right? I mean, there
Yeah.
are times when you're learning because you're mentoring other people, and I do think that's an exceptional way to learn, especially with AI. But being around people who know how to do things that you don't know how to do, like,
Yep.
oh my goodness gracious. And to get in proximity to those people like we can now because we're so virtual, whereas if we were still like walking around, in real time to try to find these people to learn from, we wouldn't be there. But now we're in groups like this where we're watching people make magic and what somebody's clumsy suffering. Yeah, we can all relate.
Yeah.
So,
What's your one of the things that I notice is as I follow an artist over time, I watch their voice evolve. Like as they learn different tools or as new capabilities come to bear, their voice sort of evolves and shifts. What's been your experience? Like, have you found, what's your relationship between your intention and what the tools are providing and that sort of back and forth? Like, are you finding your creative expression changing as the tools get better? Like, how are you evolving as an artist?
I think it's more like I'm nailing my style, and it has been easier to create, where before it was like weeks and weeks of exploration and iteration. I'm like, oh, maybe I like one image and now I want to create a story. It's gonna take forever. So now I have like a more tame formula, although it changes, of course, because
Yeah.
if version 7 comes out and then it's like, oh, I have to test it again. I went back actually to like the beginning of my creations, and I found stuff that I dropped completely, and I'm like, ooh, I want to try that again.
Yeah. I've been doing that too,
Yeah.
like resurrecting old, like low res things that were a good idea. Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I like that style, because I have this mystical style going on, but before that it was holographic, because that's part of also what I do.
ooh.
And I dropped it and I was like, wait, that was really good. I'm gonna do that. And then like now with the omni reference and Midjourney, I have been able to go back and do like all my root native Mexican indigenous work even better, because now it looks really realistic. The details are so good, like you get the feathers and the bones in a way that I couldn't before.
Yeah.
So like reigniting. And I try to join people in projects that are not in my style, so I can merge what I like to do with a new thing. Like there's this super dark lookbook that I was invited to work on, and it's just like dark, like super dark. And you see me, I use very, very colorful stuff. So it was so hard to find a good style where the things started to look, like good. So that was like super exciting. So I try to challenge myself like that to keep evolving and not get stuck in just one thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Marisol, can you tell people, we are dying to hear a little bit about your background in working with women who are neurodivergent and a little witchy. I would love to hear a little bit about that. Share that with the nice people, because there are a lot of people out there who are just discovering the kind of, with how their brain works, and may not know what direction to go in with that. And AI art can be quite honestly, for me, therapy.
Yes, it's a bit therapeutic. So I think we are approaching AI most of the times in like, how can it optimize my business? How can I profit from it? And all that stuff. And then we don't stop and think like, well, you also need a little bit of me time. And if you're creating things, why not do something that can also help you? So in my neurodivergency, what helps is that it's just so exciting and new every day. The dopamine is,
Bang,
it's
bang,
just
bang,
like,
bang.
Pellet.
exactly. And then so when I started using ChatGPT to help me with my brain, I was like, okay, this is something that I want to help people. And I didn't even know I wanted to help ADHD women. It's just that I am ADHD. And then like all my conversations, like also with Anna, who's a super successful ADHD woman, like it's possible for us to be successful and to be respectful of our quirks. There's nothing wrong with us because we are often told that it's like, fix it. It's like, no, I don't need to fix it. I just need to optimize it.
Yes.
So in creating and using these tools, I have found a way to, like, even I'm talking right now and I feel my brain like recalibrating in a way. It's like, yes, feed it.
Cool.
So again, like creating imagery of myself, for example, like creating self-portraits have really helped me see what we would call in the spiritual ecosystems, my higher self,
Yeah.
or, or the version of myself.
Yeah.
And that can really help me to motivate myself to keep going. And like, I can do it. Like, this is just a vision of what's coming. Like, this is just my future self. And that helps me, like get out of those slumps where you feel like you can't do anything. And then you have a little conversation with chat and you're like, okay, I feel like this. I created a custom ChatGPT, which the whole point is that, like, I don't feel like doing stuff today. And then it'll take you like, how's your energy, your cycle too? Like considers all these things. So just to help you get a little bit of a push. It's not like, it's not going to solve your life, but it might help you move on from being stuck, which I find it very, very, very helpful.
Beautiful. Same. We're going to dive into our questions for you, but first I wanted to, as an illustration of the importance of community, I, was told I could never be an artist. Mrs. Plimmel told me that in 4th grade.
Thank you, Mrs. Plimmel.
Then I met Kyle, and Kyle convinced us all that we were all artists. And I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna absorb that. Why not? Because you really took us through the journey that you were on of, am I an artist, right? And really being able to own that. And I came across Kyle's series, Kyle Shannon Dreams, where he had made, these are my words to describe it, Kyle. So if I don't nail it, hopefully the spirit is correct. So where I saw these like alter egos of Kyle, and I thought that might be an interesting thing for me to explore. And I didn't know enough about making AI art to be super precise, to like have an idea and try to make it happen. I didn't have the preconceived notion. So along the way, I made these images of myself, these alter egos, and I had this, I lived with them for like 2 years. They were everywhere in my life. And it was just this neat way of looking at like the fracturing of my life in a way that felt more like the sum was better than the whole of the parts. The whole was better than the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
And now, because of what you just shared, Marisol, I'm going to go back and I'm going to get those images and I'm going to make them good, because of course I decided they weren't good enough.
Yeah, of course, right?
Right? I decided as I got better at stuff, oh, those aren't good enough.
Right.
I can't have those around me anymore.
That's
I'm going to go back and I'm going to get those and I'm going to make them better now because we have the new tools that we have.
I love it.
So good. I would never know any of these things if it weren't for you two. So
that's great.
So Marisol, here's question number 1. When did you know that you needed to go all in with AI, and what happened next?
So, like I said, when I was kind of stuck in my career, and I started seeing AI taking a rise, and I started seeing all the stuff against it and whatnot. But I was like, it's not going to go anywhere. And then I started using it as part of my workflow, just simply by using chat. And I was like, it can't be that bad, And then I started seeing the use cases that would integrate with my workflows, which is like mainly by branding. And I was like, this is something. This is something that I really need to try. Like I said, I knew when I had to move from just doing graphic design to then implement web design and then implement strategy and social media, it was just like a logical step. Like the next thing is going to be AI. And I am so grateful I did at the time I did, because I feel like that has given me an advantage. It has made me so much more confident in my process of creating. I just feel like, okay, I am that bee. I can't do this like super easily. try me. I can do anything. And it's not just like because I rely on it. It's just it enhances my skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
I love that. The confidence thing, I think, is such a huge one, right? There's something about being able to manifest an idea. And like you said, Anne, sometimes you may not have the specific idea, but when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's me. That's right. That's something. There's something amplifying about that, right? It really does give you confidence, which in theory should only come from the inside, right? But in reality, sometimes external stimulation is really important. And I feel like AI is always a good validator of ideas and reflector of ideas.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. Okay. So question number 2. So based on your specialty, whether it's through a lens of branding and design, or whether it's through a lens of art or witchery, what are trends? What is a trend or trends you're seeing in AI? What's something that you're paying attention to in AI, and why?
I think automation. Oh Jesus, automation.
Automation.
I just want to do like
Ouch.
immerse myself in it, but it's like it's a headache just looking at it. But I know it's essential. This is another piece where it's like you need to start doing it now. Like you need to really start not being intimidated by it now and dip your toes. You don't have to go all in, but start dipping your toes. And I will say, definitely join the AI salon. Definitely join She Leads AI, where you will find people that would help you open the doors and take you slowly into the automation thing. But it's just essential. It's so needed. If you don't learn it, even as you request for it as a client, if you need an automation for your business, but you don't understand it, you're going to get got. So you need to understand it.
At least understand it conceptually, right? Understand that it's possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if that's not your jam to do that, then bring someone in to do it. And at some point in the future, those automations will be automated, right?
Yep.
But right now they're not. It is incredibly powerful when you find something. Well, I'll tell you, like what I've noticed is whenever we do something in my business where it's like, we keep doing the same thing over and over again, where it's just like, that's taking us a ridiculous amount of time. You can spot those things where it's just like, if you feel like, oh, I got to do this thing again, that's probably a place you'd want to look at an automation, right? Exactly. Have you started automating things? Like, what are the things you're playing with there?
I am trying to automate my custom GPT.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of connections and I'm trying to get it with NA8.
NA8, yeah.
And because I was going to do it with Make, but we all know Sabrina Ramno.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't recommend Make anymore. And I'm like, she has spoken. She has spoken. I shall go learn the other tool so I don't waste any time. And a tool
the definition of influencer. You get people
definition. We are so.
But she is what every influencer should be. She's just trying to help people be AI ready. So exactly. She's amazing.
Beautiful. All right.
Okay. Kyle, what's our third question? It's up on the screen. Hold on. Time out, everybody.
It's in the private area there.
Hold on.
It's tied to the name of our little podcast here.
Yeah, I really should not have to check, but you know how it is.
Hey, that's how our brains are fried.
I was on this whole path of automations and agentic workflows and agents and agent bosses and all the my brain just went elsewhere. We need to talk about agent bosses soon, Kyle.
Okay.
Coming back to reality.
Yeah.
Marisol, what does AI readiness mean to you? And what would you recommend for people who are just getting started in their AI journey?
AI readiness for me means being stubborn about not wanting to learn it. Or at least
stubborn, yeah.
Or at least, or not stubborn, but so reluctant or scared. And this is for just the people that are listening and barely hearing about it. If you haven't dipped your toes, just start with chat. It's such a good friend. It's a good friend. just give it a whirl. You don't even understand. Go to TikTok, see what you can do with ChatGPT. Start using ChatGPT, and let's just start there. And like Kyle said, what is the thing that it's a headache in your business? And then ask Chat how you can make that easier. And I'm not saying go all into the automation, but at least if you don't understand any of the things that Chat's saying, that's where you start. Ask it, okay, what does this mean? And then what does that mean? And then so you can start unraveling the whole concept of it, and don't be scared. Just go, trust it. It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
It's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay, people. Everything's gonna be just fine. Let's make sure before we get you out of here. I had this before. This is your YouTube channel, correct?
Yes.
I am the AI Witch
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. So go check that channel out. What can people find there?
Oh, so I am doing demos, a lot of rants. A lot of rants about I had a very bad breakup with ChatGPT. We're back together, but we had a breakup. So that was a very interesting one. And
That's awesome.
of course I did show how to use Midjourney's video, and just like little things here and there. Like today I had a conversation about how to put clothes or change clothes in an image. So I might do a YouTube video about that. And, like my comments are open. If anybody wants to learn anything, I'm open, just comment and I'll make a video.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, anyone would be so fortunate to be in your midst, even if it's through a screen. Ideally, getting in a small screen with you, being in the space with you and learning from you is a gift to all of us. All of us all your friends who are in the chat, your AI besties and people who you haven't met too would be fortunate to hang around with you. Thank you so much, Marisol, for everything you've done for our community and beyond, and what your future looks like is amazing. You're just getting started.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited. And for everything you've done for us too, Anne and Kyle. Well, you guys started the whole madness with that Festivus thing. I mean,
I know, right? Well, now we got to up our game next year, which I think is basically impossible, but we'll figure it out. But it was just awesome having you. Thank you. Really inspiring, and really excited to have you here. And good luck with everything, and go make the world a better place.
Yeah, she will. She will. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.